thing, yeah, I found that. Young king with my crown at. 10 racks in the fanny pack. Couple hundred in the Louis bag. Couple hundred need the G-Wagons. Big tax on my big spending. Big facts, no pretending. We back on the full sentence. That good thing, yeah, I found that. Young king with my crown at. 10 racks in the fanny pack. Couple hundred in the Louis bag. Couple hundred need the G-Wagons. Big tax on my big spending. Big facts, no pretending. We back on the full sentence.
Crazy flow, need a straight jacket. Cash flow, I'm a bank addict. 6 subs, had the bass smacking. 808, had the place clapping. 3 girls is enough for me, so I pull out like the stocks crashing. Like an IPO trying to purchase me. This a private sector, so you can't have it. Faking all that boom bapping. Who you think you is, boy? 90s want they sound back, so I give rap all these fake rappers as I take matters in my own hands. I don't need rapping, I don't need Zans. I don't need help, I'm a grown man. Now the king left and they so mad, it's like
good thing, yeah, I found that. Young king with my crown at. 10 racks in the fanny pack. Couple hundred in the Louis bag. Couple hundred need the G-Wagons. Big tax on my big spending. Big facts, no pretending. We back on the full sentence. That good thing, yeah, I found that. Young king with my crown at. 10 racks in the fanny pack. Couple hundred in the Louis bag. Couple hundred need the G-Wagons. Big tax on my big spending. Big facts, no pretending. We back on the full sentence.
yeah, hey, look what I got. New whip with no top. Cooking up no stove top. Ice cold, no snow drop. Big budget ass, big facts. Big money in the contract. Been running no contact. New record with the new tracks. Yeah, they been sending me new plaques. I don't really need new plaques. Nah, big rock with the suplex. Yeah, new rock got a new flex. Yeah, I'm current, I'm a new trend. Now boys with the full scent. Yeah, like I said, no new friends. We don't really need new friends.
Good thing, yeah, I found that. Young king with my crown at. 10 racks in the fanny pack. Couple hundred in the Louis bag. Couple hundred need the G-Wagons. Big tax on my big spending. Big facts, no pretending. We back on the full sentence. That good thing, yeah, I found that. Young king with my crown at. 10 racks in the fanny pack. Couple hundred in the Louis bag. Couple hundred need the G-Wagons. Big tax on my big spending. Big facts, no pretending. We back on the full sentence.
I don't give a fuck what you think. I don't know you, you don't know me. Still got my soul, still make this breathe. These niggas change, but I stay me. They try to take my life from me. The king will come collect his fee. I do the most, y'all do the least. We don't eat scraps, we don't. Can't be feasting all these niggas. I stay beasting all these niggas. I'm releasing all these niggas. I can't be peaceful with these niggas. I'm like a diesel when I fucking gas up. Running my route, better pass up. Running from God with a pastor. Chewing on the game like a pasture. I ain't never looking for a handout. You can put your motherfucking hands down. K's like a goddamn drum line. But it's like my band, my sign. KD erupted Vesuvius. These demons, they on the loose. Hey, y'all wanna win, put booby and always remember to tie in my boots. Hey, I don't give a fuck what you think. I don't know you, you don't know me. Still got my soul, still make this breathe. These niggas change, but I stay me. I'm tired of watching these puppets and calling them artists. I'm falling too far, I just took what I had and I did what I could. Now I'm taking the love and creating, replacing the charge. I'm tired of stopping these people from fucking me over. I'm putting up walls and protecting my mind and protecting my time. Now I'm taking the money, creating sustainable art. Y'all on the same train, y'all ride the same way. Same shit, new name. Same shit, new day. Dumb niggas too paid. Capping like a toupee. Gotta ride a new wave. Gotta find a new way. I don't give a fuck what you think. I don't know you. You don't know me. Still got my soul. Still make this breathe. These niggas change, but I stay me. They try to take my life from me. The king will come collect his fee. I do the most, y'all do the least. We don't eat scraps, we only feast.
The following program is rated TV MANOC. It contains a big pair of nuts directly on your chin. It is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
Bro, what the fuck? Holy, go fuck yourself.
Go to the fucking gym.
Obesity is epidemic in the United States and a major cause of death.
What is fat activism?
I, a fat person, am sharing my own lived experience.
Pizza is a vegetable.
Your fat phobia is your problem.
It is not my place as a smaller-bodied white man to comment on it.
Radical body positivity.
What can men do against such reckless hate?
There's only one man who can help me.
This is for you new people. I only have one rule. Everyone fights, no one quits.
This day we fight!
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Testing. Testing, testicles, testing. Welcome, everyone, to episode 2968 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular swolecast, beercast, broadcast, gangcast, mancast, pimpcast, sleazecast, and slaycast in the realm, because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. What's going on, beaches, booshes, bustas, hustles, and yo-hos? It's your boy, Papa Swolio, back with another episode. In today's episode, the Beastcast is brought to you, is powered, is sponsored by Everest and K2, flexing on all you be. All right, welcome to the fam. Welcome to the show. Welcome to 2968. Drop in the comments, what are you smashing today? The Swole card is no excuses. Make sure you drop that in the comments down below for a chance to win today's Swole card. And make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, and share the show with your friends. We are going to jump right into those Swole fam posts because we got a lot to get into. But first, make sure that you drop in the comments, what are you smashing today? Last night's roundtable for members is available over at swolenormousx.com. So if you missed the live call, it's available now. And of course, we have some awesome stuff coming up this next Monday because we do have another accountability meeting with more releases. We have epic specials going on right now for merch, 20% off the entire site over there at papaswolio.com. Wow. So today I am rocking the Don't Put Dirty Dicks in Your Mouth tank. That's some great advice. Don't do it. Don't do it. I know you're tempted, but don't do it. Don't do it. I promise you. Don't do it. It's not a good idea. And of course, because today is Friday, we have an overtime segment going down right at the end of today's episode, and that will be streaming inside the Daily Swole Telegram chat. We have a brand new Driving While Gaining, so that's going to be awesome, and that will start shortly, right after at the end of this live stream. So for members only, again, join us, swolenormousx.com. Now let's get on into that tip. Babe, just an inch. It's cold outside. Yeah, let's get into some Swole fam posts.
What's in the box?
First one is from Carson saying, hitting them Christies and arms today. Don't come at me. It's my squat rack and I'll curl if I want to. I personally think that the squat rack is probably one of the best places to curl. And if you can curl in a squat rack, you should be, because you're strong enough. And if you get offended by that, you're probably not that strong and you can't actually curl in a squat rack. It's a great place to rest the bar at the height of your choice. Curl wherever you fucking want to. But of course, if you're tiny and you're skinny, you probably should be curling in the squat rack. Christian writes, I received a heartfelt surprise today. Upon checking my mail, my Christie merch arrived. I can't exactly explain the feeling that overcame me, but I felt sadness and joy at the same time. I still think of her daily, especially when I train, but also when I see a meme she would have liked and laughed at. She will always be a part of the Swole fam, and she is most definitely our Swole angel telling us all to get after it and stay strong. I did leg day yesterday, and today is a rest day, but tomorrow I will honor my friend by wearing her shirt while I curse my way through a brutal upper body pump. Blessings to all. Love ya, fam. So that's a great shirt, of course. Available for, we're probably going to wrap that up so we can make sure we get that the proceeds over to her family. So make sure, if you haven't, link is there on your homepage. Make sure you jump all over that. Even Heaven Has Leg Days merch. What a great shirt. A lot of you are getting in and you're posting it up. So super awesome. Super awesome. Glad and grateful for everyone that participated in that and have picked them up. So if you get yours in, make sure you take a picture. All those colors look fantastic. We got a couple more accountability posts from this past Monday. Of course, these are responses to the accountability text that I send out every single Sunday. Michael says, accountability time, my final exam for my class, and I'm attempting to stay positive. Haven't been able to make a final decision about whether I'm going to retire in Mexico or the Philippines as a disabled veteran, as I can't afford living off my military disability and retirement in the States, but I can afford a decent life elsewhere. To the journey. And this is definitely a positive post in the sense that I'm glad that you are looking for other ways, but it's also a shame that you are unable to do that in the same country that you served. The way the country, how much money do we send to these other fucking countries? How much money do we send to other countries that don't deserve a fucking dime? We're sending all this money to Ukraine and to Israel for what? What are we sending these people money for? Why are we sending these countries money for? We can't take care of our veterans and those that served. It's insane. It's insane. So all those billions of dollars could be spent on taking care of the people that live in this fucking country. So that'd be nice. I'm sure Michael would agree with that. But anyway, we wish you the best and stay plugged in. Let us know what you're up to. There are definitely a lot of places that you can stretch the dollar further. MN says, consistency, getting my ass to the gym, whether or not I feel like it. All right. Well, you definitely need to make some more tactical plans. A general statement like that ain't going to get the job done. That's why you're not getting to the gym, whether or not you feel like it, because you're not setting yourself up for success. Just saying it isn't doing it. Got to make sure that you are literally, like, what are you going to do? How are you going to be consistent? How are you going to get your ass to the gym? Why aren't you getting your ass to the gym? What are you going to do to make sure you get to the gym? That's what we want to know from these responses. Zane says, from the accountability text, prioritizing and executing a workout /eating/work program. What does that mean? I've stocked up on meats and tossed a bunch of junk food. Tomorrow starts my morning off with a swollen 7 and hydration, followed by brain gains. If people knew about Red 40 or any of the other junk that's in American food, it would be easy to toss a bunch of junk out. After listening to one of the Swolecasts where you were talking about all the chemicals we surround ourselves with every day, I started to focus on the ingredients from food to shampoo. Tomorrow starts a new life. Thanks for keeping me motivated. I'm going to the fucking gym and making muscles great again. Indeed, all the artificial food colorings and sweeteners and fragrances and phthalates and toxins, a lot of people are going to poo-poo it. They don't want to address, they don't want to face facts. They want a triple or quadruple blind study over 40 years in order to, so they can justify their habits. Like, well, there's no studies that prove that, or people just want to justify their terrible behaviors in lieu of no evidence that these things are safe. So just because you might not have all the evidence in the world that shows that they're literally doing these things, stop adding artificial, modern, ultra processed ingredients into your food. Just don't do it. It's the risk. It doesn't necessarily mean causation. I'm not saying you have Red 40 and you fucking drop dead, but you're putting this shit in everything. Everything. You're eating it constantly in so many different forms. You're surrounding yourself with all these things. You're eating all these different forms of corn and soy and vegetable oils and ultra processed sugar and high fructose corn syrup. You're just doing layers and layers and layers. You're coming home and your house is surrounded with Febreze and Glade plugins and Tide laundry soap and Axe body spray and Dove shampoos and all these different things that are just destroying your body. It's destroying your life. So it's all these different layers. If you go to the beach, it's not like there's just sand. Each grain of sand, there's trillions of grains of sand on a beach. So it's not like sand is a thing. It's just, it's all together. Look, it's the beach. No, it's billions and billions and billions and billions of grains of sand. And that's what you're doing. Your life is covered in fucking sand. You just don't notice all the individual grains, but you have to get rid of this stuff. You have to make these improvements because that's what's holding you back. Okay, if you want to get on the email list, go to makeemailswoleagain.com. A couple responses from the email. This is a really popular one. The 7-day training cycle email. I was telling all of you that, if you train, for example, if you train on, let's say you start your cycle on Monday, a lot of people do psychologically, and it repeats on a Monday. So you're saying within 7 days, a lot of people psychologically, okay, Monday to Sunday, and then it's a reset like an Etch-a-Sketch. But in reality, if you are starting your cycle again on Monday, that kind of consists of 7 days, Monday through Monday. Really, that's 7 days, kind of 7-8 days. You think it might be twice a week if that repeats. It's Monday and Friday I do a workout. Well, if you do that workout again or that body part again on Monday, that's pretty much 3 times in a week. Within a given time period, you're training it 3 times. It's all about how you perceive it. So it really doesn't matter if it's 7 days or 9 days or 10 days. What matters is the intensity. What matters is the frequency and the volume. And are you repairing? Are you recovering for your next workout? And are you making progress? And if you're making progress, you're building strength, you're building muscle, then everything is good. You're recovering enough, you're eating enough, you're sleeping right, at least enough to make progress. And then if you're not making progress, then you can stop and reassess. Why I don't follow a 7-day training cycle. David says, my split looks like this, I suppose. Chest, legs, quads. Well, so legs. Okay, I was going to say legs. Quads are legs. So you mean a quad focused leg day. Chest, quads, back biceps, rest, chest, glute and hamstring, back biceps. So you're not doing triceps at all? Shoulders? It's kind of a weird split. Just so you know, you're not recovering with that kind of split. You're really not recovering enough systemically. I've done splits similar to that. It's not enough. You need more recovery, or you need less volume. So what I really need to know is more about the volume, what you're doing here. But you just got to be very careful. And we talked about this yesterday in the roundtable. People dramatically underestimate their systemic fatigue. Dramatically underestimate. You get so used to sleeping 4 hours a night or 5 hours a night. Those of you that do night shifts, you understand how easily, and I'm not saying it's easy, but how easily you adapt to this fucked up schedule. It becomes your normal. You just get used to being exhausted. So you get used to being chronically fatigued. And if you're not making consistent progress, you are systemically fatigued. So it doesn't matter if David's chest is recovered. Oh, I don't feel sore on the next workout. But if your body is fatigued systemically, maybe your chest doesn't hurt. It doesn't feel like, oh, it's so sore. But because you did legs and you also did back and you also did whatever, you're just not, your body didn't get to recover the body that actually needs to be recovered in a positive state in order to repair and to improve hypertrophy and stuff and strength in the chest. So if you are doing other body parts in the other days, it's not like, for example, this workout, chest, legs, back, rest, chest. He's getting 1 day of rest and 3 fatiguing, high intense workouts, supposedly. So your chest is not recovered. You're not repaired. Your body is not recovered in 1 day after 3 intense days in a row. Just saying. If you do this kind of a split, the volume has to be exceptionally low. And in my opinion, there's a much better way to have a split that's going to allow you to recover more. So can you make progress with that? Sure. Some people recover faster than others. Just saying. That kind of thing, doing 6 days in a week training, you're not recovering. It's just not possible. You're not recovering enough. It doesn't mean you can't make progress, but you're really shaving off a lot of progress because of how much extra fatigue you're incurring. This one's from Janelle. Papa Solio, thank you. I appreciate so much. I don't do a 7-day split either. It's more like alternating 2 and 3 day splits with varying recovery or functional or recreation days worked in. Each muscle group has an intense strength focus about twice in a 7-day period. I like the focus, but also like the flexibility and using my strength in practical ways. Love the burn and endorphins following a hard workout. Love the tingling, tired feeling of happy muscles. Tired feeling of happy muscles. But I don't want a dogmatic workout routine to rule me. It's a satisfying lifestyle, not a hostile abduction. Stronger than ever at 63. That's a lot of words. That's a lot of words. But as long as you're getting it in, I don't think of my muscles as being happy, the tingling. I don't know what that means. But whatever you're doing, if you're making progress, Janelle, Strong at 63. I love it. I love it. So good for you. Good for you. She writes like a poem. A lot of buzzwords there, but I'm down. I dig it. Whatever keeps you focused and consistent, right? So you do need to pick something, whatever your split is. You do need to pick something that you're going to be able to adhere to. And people mistake this for having a favorite, or I enjoy this. Do you really enjoy it? Doesn't matter if you enjoy what you're doing. Doesn't matter. If you're getting results, you're going to enjoy. If you're getting results, you're going to enjoy what you're doing because you're going to love the results. You're doing these things for the results. You're doing it for the process, but you also want the results. So if you're getting better results, you're going to like what you're doing because you're going to look forward to doing it because you know it's going to get results. If you don't know if it's getting you results, it's hard to push 100%. It's hard to psychologically be all in with the unknown. That's the challenge of lifting because you're putting a lot of effort in up front with a delayed gratification. You don't know when that's going to happen or how it's going to happen or if it's going to work. You got to go all in with the chance, with the hope that it's going to work, right? So you're not guaranteed that it's going to work. Good stuff. Okay, if you want to get on the email list, again, links down below, makeemailswoleagain.com. Get on that email list.
I give it
I will send some knowledge cock your way.
a fucking 10.
All right, now let's get into some more questions. If you are watching live, now it's your time to jump on in, ask a question. If you want to call into the show, be featured in an upcoming episode, go to askpapaswolio.com. You could also just drop it, #AskPapaswolio in the comments. Adam Edison, dear Mr. Man of the Swole, have you ever thought of being a wrestler? No. I thought of it, not like seriously ever wanted to. But yeah, I've thought of it. Papa Swolio would be a badass character. Be a badass character. I'll be the heel, the people's champ. Question on Instagram. Fa Gimenezef. Nice. Papa, you help me and my pals go to the gym every day, man. Bicep exercises? Well, I'm glad that my content helps you go make gains. There are, yes, bicep exercise. Is that a question? What are they? There are curls. Do the curls. Do the curls. Do dumbbell supinating curls. Do preacher curls with the machine or with a bar or with a dumbbell. That's pretty much all you need. There are some exercises that are better than others. The reason preacher curls are great is because there's more tension when the biceps are in more of a lengthened, mid-range position. So a preacher curl machine is great. It's safer for a lot of people. It's easier to load. Cable curls, 2-arm cable curls facing away can be beneficial if you have one of those functional trainer machines. But there's really no magic or fanciness to bicep training. Remember, biceps and triceps, they don't need a lot of volume. They do need progressive overload. Any muscle needs progressive overload. They all need progressive overload. And it really does. It's not, the volume isn't the important thing. This is what we keep on talking about with fatigue. The volume is not the important thing. It's the intensity and the progressive overload. The volume is going to vary based on your frequency. You still want the intensity to be high. The volume is going to change based on how often you're training the body part and how quickly you recover. If it takes you longer to repair based on your split and you're not recovering enough for that next workout, you either have to increase the recovery period or you need to decrease the volume of the muscles. And that's why when you have a split, you might find that certain body parts, and you could drop this in the comments, you're going to find that certain body parts might take longer to recover. You might find that your triceps are they incur more damage in the sense that they just get sore for longer. So you might just back off on the volume when you train them or give them an extra couple days or skip a cycle. If you're doing upper body workouts, maybe you do it every other upper body session instead of every session, or you do less. You do 1 or 2 sets rather than 3 or 4, or whatever it is. So everyone's going to have different body parts. And some of you know this, certain body parts just feel more sore, take longer. They have more local discomfort in terms of recovery than others. So you can adjust your split accordingly and your volume accordingly. And that's going to be individual. So this is why you have to be a scientist. You have to actually care and test these things out. Is it better when I do X amount of sets or less sets and whatever? Carson says, that's why I switched my arms to leg days. I used to do them at the end of chest or back day, but when they are 100% fresh, I could actually increase the weight. But that's the difference. If you do your arms before you train legs, See, I don't like that approach, but I kind of do, and I'll tell you what I do. You would have to train them first, because if you train your arms after legs, you're still fatigued. You're still more fatigued. Whatever you train first is what you're going to be the most recovered for. So if you're trying to, you have to figure out one or two things that you are prioritizing. So they might not be more locally fatigued, but systemically. So you're still, unless you're training them first, you're still going to be fatigued when you train them. So what I do is I'll do forearms. I'll do some forearms. I'll do some reverse curls or some wrist curls before I train legs, or I'll do calves before I do upper body. So that's a kind of a good hack. And it really depends on what you're trying to prioritize. So whatever you want to bring up, hey, this body part's smaller, I want to really focus on that. Train it first in a workout and organize your split around what you're trying to prioritize. There's no reason why you can't do it. I think Dorian Yates used to do triceps before legs, but it's like, it depends. It depends on the split. Carson says, I have five kids. I'm always fatigued. All right. Fair enough. You get my point though. So if you find that could still be better for you. So doing biceps and triceps or whatever after legs or whatever you do could be better than after chest or back, or maybe you combine chest and back in a workout. You do arms on a separate day. Depends. Again, it depends on your split. If you're seeing progress, that's right. Again, if you're seeing, there's many different splits. That's why the quote unquote bro split works. Push pull legs works, or push pull legs arms works. Like they all work. It depends on what you're going to adhere to and what you feel good. So if you find that your body's recovering X amount physically, but like systemically, you find like you're just, dragging ass, you feel like low mood, whatever it is, something still needs to change. So I find, and what's really uncomfortable for me, and I'm always just grappling with this, is I feel like I want to do more. I tend to stop when I could do more. Because if I just let myself go, I'm going to fucking push. So it's really hard for me to temper myself and do 2 sets for a body part during a workout. I really want to do more, but I kind of like that psychological effect. It makes me really hungry to do more, and also make sure that I'm not going to that absolute limit where I'm completely fatigued. I still train hard with a proper volume. And again, I look at the numbers and the data. If the sets are going, not the sets, but the reps are increasing for the weight, or the weight is increasing for the reps, I know I'm making progress and I'm doing it right. And if I start increasing the volume, yeah, I might be more sore. So psychologically, I did more work, but that doesn't mean it's more effective. Just because I did more sets doesn't mean I'm going to be able to repair and grow the muscle. Do I want to build muscle, or do I not want to build muscle? If I want to build muscle, it doesn't matter what I feel. It does, but it doesn't. It needs to be objectively working. So if I feel like, I could do more, and I do 2 sets, but I'm making progress, or, okay, I did more in psychological, I feel like I did more. I did 4 sets, but I'm not making progress. Why? The 4 sets doesn't work. Even if I feel like I'm doing more, cool story, Hansel. You're not making progress. So got to change the approach. Eddie on YouTube's Papa Swolio, can you build muscle and recomp using resistance bands only? I have a home gym with dumbbells and barbells, but I feel better using bands. You could build muscle with any resistance. Recomp is kind of nonsense. You're trying to build muscle and lose fat at the same time. Bulk or cut. You're gaining or losing. You're in a calorie deficit, or you're in a surplus, or in maintenance. Recomp is really not something that's realistic. It's a very fine line. It depends on how how you measuring this. It's just a real hard thing to even wrap your head around versus actually execute on that. So I would honestly just continue to focus on building muscle. Build muscle, build strength. Strength will lead to muscle, and do that. And just be in a slight surplus. Like you can be quote unquote lean bulking. Bulking just means you're putting on muscle. You're trying to develop it and put on size. So you're going to gain some fat, and that's fine. Like that's a healthy thing to do. If you're trying to be in a deficit and build strength and build muscle, maybe if you're new to the gym, you've never trained before, you're morbidly obese, or you're very, you're fat, or you haven't trained in 6 months or a year and you're kind of detrained, you can kind of lose a little bit of fat and build muscle at the same time, but that's not really how your body works. So can you build muscle with bands? Yes, of course. The only difference is when it comes to bands, it's harder to progressively overload. And I'll give you, for example, it's harder to load. There are different machines and contraptions and certain exercises. So I'm not saying every muscle is harder, but certain things, like you're trying to do bands for legs, it's much harder than doing bands for curls. Obviously you can anchor the curl, or to get enough resistance to have bands that are that thick, that are safe, they're not going to snap, that are anchored, that is a comfortable position. Like I said, there are different apparatuses that people have created that can be used for bands more effectively in certain situations. But if you're trying to load like a bicep curl, like I always say, weight is weight. So I will add a quarter of a pound or a half pound plate or a 1 pound plate, whatever it is. Because if I'm getting 8 reps, I want to get 6. I don't need to add 15 pounds on each side. I might need to add like 2.5 or 1 pound on each side. So it's harder to progressively overload with bands, because what are you going to have, like a half pound band? There's progressive resistance because the more you stretch it, the more it's. So it's a little bit harder to tactically progressively overload, but it's definitely possible. I mean, if you're doing 10 reps with a yellow band, and that's like the last you could do, and then eventually you progress to a blue band or a thicker band or a purple band, obviously you're getting stronger. You're building muscle. You're getting stronger, and then, of course, as a proxy of that, you will be building muscle. The strength is going to come first. So the answer is, can you progressively overload the exercise, whatever you're doing? And the answer is yes. You could do that with bands. You could do that with chains. You could do that with kettlebells. You could do that. But some movements are going to be more effective with certain pieces of equipment. You know, this is why machines or cables can be great, because you can get different angles of pull and you're still using the stack that's going up and down against gravity. Or bands are great because you can anchor from a certain position and get resistance in a way that you wouldn't be able to. If you have a dumbbell and you're like just moving it around, you know, gravity is pulling it down. So you're not working the same muscles as if you anchored a band to the top. So you can hit different body parts. So you can definitely do it. It's just going to be harder to progressively overload and maybe anchor. Like you can put bands on a squat rack or in a door for a chest press. But obviously, if you guys have ever tried to do chest presses with bands, it's a bitch. It's really hard. You can put around your back and do push-ups and stuff. Okay, fine. But if you anchor them to a pressing movement and you're leaning against the wall, you're leaning away. So you're trying to counter the band. You're pushing away. And if you go heavy enough for the bands, you're pushing yourself off the bands. The bands aren't stretching. You can't lean your body weight enough. Or you have a chair or a bench, and the bench is, because a lot of benches that are cheaper are lighter and the bench is sliding. You know, because if you buy one of those really high quality benches, they're like $600-700 because they're heavy and they won't move or slide when you're lifting and stuff. So it's just hard to load certain exercises. Dus percuti, de percuti. I'm trying to read the screen names. Papa Swole, I'm a 45-year-old man, 150 pounds, 5'6". Realistically, how much muscle can I gain? I don't know. But realistically, you can gain a lot. 150, 5'6", you can put on a lot of mass, man. You're 45. I mean, eating properly, lifting weights, you can definitely build a lot of muscle. I'm 40. I'm going to be 40, what was it, June? In about a month and a half, I'm going to be 41. So the answer is yes. I'm more towards my genetic potential, and I'm not saying I'm the biggest person, but you know, for how long I've been lifting, for how much I eat, for how much, like, you know, maybe I'm putting on grams of muscle over time. It's just really hard to, when your body is exposed to so much, it's just, you know, I'm kind of like, I'm really topped out with, for the most part, with like what I'm going to get with my training. I'm scratching and clawing for every little bit of improvement. Unless I start taking like TRT or something like that. So, I mean, realistically, I can't give you a number, but you can absolutely at 150, 5'6", you can put on plenty of muscle. You know, you want to be jacked at 5'6". What is that going to be? 175? 180? It's jacked out of your mind. Swole Sama says, I do see some gray hairs there. Do I? Do I have any? I don't think I do. No, I haven't seen any. I also have blonde hair, so like it could be light. I don't care. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. I will probably, my grandfather, because they say, what, your mother's father? Is that where you get your hair genetics? He had white hair. I'm going to look like Kris Kringle. I'm going to be like fucking white beard. It'll be awesome. If that's the case, I don't mind. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. I was actually excited. I'm like, really? Do I have one? I think the coming of age for a man is when you get like a gray pube. I have to check it out. Let's see what we got. see what we got there. See what we got going on down there. You get the baldness gene off your mom. Well, I have no baldness issues. There's nothing here. There's nothing here. Doesn't creatine make you go bald? Yeah, I take creatine every day, son. So obviously not. Obviously not. Not a problem. Not a problem. Anyway, you could definitely build muscle. I'm still building muscle. I'm getting stronger. I'm still seeing improvements in strength training and things like that. So, I wish I was training the way I am now with the same intent as I was. I mean, I was lifting heavy and hard, but I was doing a lot more fatigue type training. I was creating a lot of exhaustion. I could have programmed better with what I know now, but it's all perspective. I'm just glad I'm focusing more. I focus a lot more on recovery now. And the more advanced you are with your lifting, the less volume you need to do, because the more intense you're training, the heavier you're training. Remember, it's the same nervous system. It's the same body, the same brain, spinal cord, same central nervous system. And yeah, it does adapt and it does develop, but you're still fatiguing the same single body. So people think that the longer they've lifted and the more muscle they have, I need to do more volume, more. And the temptation is more. I know. The temptation is always to do more in the gym. It's always to do more. It's always doing more weight, lifting heavier. But remember, the heavier you're lifting, and if you're doing 5-6 rep sets, you only need like 2 of those. You don't need a lot. You're not going to be able to recover enough depending on the frequency of your training. So for me, like I was saying, if I'm doing upper body twice in a week or 2 or 3 times, let's say once every other, I'm doing every day, let's say Monday, Thursday, or Monday, Friday. Okay. I'm doing 2 sets probably for chest, maybe 3, depending on the movement. I'm not recovering. And the difference is if I'm doing 2 sets for chest, my fatigue is going into like a little dip rather than if I do 4 sets once a week. Once a week, if I did chest once a week, maybe I do 4 or 6 sets, but I'm causing much more fatigue in that single workout. It just makes it more challenging as a system to recover from those increased volume workouts. Even if they're less frequent, it makes the fatigue more of an issue because of the increased volume. Marcos Pulido Maya Ocean. Where do people get these fucking names from? How do I have good calves? No matter how much I do, they don't come out. Calves are very genetic. You can definitely build them. Make sure you're focusing on, again, calves are like any other muscle. People train with way too much volume. They do too many sets too frequently. Oh, they're a slower twitch muscle. You got to train them more often, high reps. It's like any other muscle. You want to progressively overload. Focus on the stretch. So stretch training for your calves. Do like 5 to 10 repetitions, a few sets every couple days. Start with that, but focus on the stretch, full stretch, 3 to 5 seconds, and at least getting to neutral. You don't have to get up on your tippy toes. The calves react more from stretch-mediated hypertrophy. So make sure you're focusing on the stretch, and then progressive overload like any other body part. And you could do single leg exercises, but full stretch to at least neutral. Okay, another question. But calves, forearms, same thing with like veins and bicep or like muscle insertions. A lot of that's very genetic, but you can definitely make progress. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 6s. Papa Swole, how do I get off cholesterol? We answered this already. Why are we getting old questions here? We did this one already. Jose, what's the best gym routine to lose weight? I feel like we did these already. We just get the same dumb ones all the time. Let's see. Brillinger, Papa Swole, what do you think about starting a diet with a mini cut? What? I'm not naming you on that one. Starting a diet with a mini cut. Can someone translate this to me? What are you talking about? Starting a diet with a mini cut. Are you trying to cut or are you trying to bulk? What do you mean diet? Is that like, I'm on a diet? I'm eating a lot of fucking food. What are you talking about? Are you trying to cut or are you trying to bulk? A mini cut? The problem is people try to do mini cuts and mini bulks and this. If you're trying to bulk, let me tell you the real deal. If you're trying to bulk, you don't bulk for a couple fucking months. Unless you're doing some sort of like anabolic, epic testosterone, steroid cycle. You're not doing a couple months of bulking. If you really want to bulk, and I'm not saying dirty bulk, if you're trying to put on muscle and you're eating in a surplus, it could be a slight surplus. If you're in that zone, just because you're eating a little bit extra and you're lifting hard doesn't mean you're doing it right. So it does take time to figure out, am I actually getting strong? Am I actually building muscle? And then continue this. You should be doing it for the person that's natural. You should be bulking, like putting on muscle and focusing on that for at least a year, in my opinion. You're doing this for a long time. You're just trying to put on muscle. It takes months and years of consistently doing that. Not like I'm going to bulk for 3 fucking months. What they do, they gain a little bit of strength because they're training harder. They don't really build any hypertrophy adaptations. They put on some weight and muscle or water and fat, maybe a little muscle, and then they lose it all when they cut. They do like 1,000 calorie. They get a little fatter. Oh, I put on weight, and they cut back down. They look the same. That's what most people do. So, mini cut. What the fuck is a mini cut, bro? What is a mini cut? I'm going to cut for 2 weeks. Okay. What does that mean? I need definition. I need some more specifics there. So just ranting on the idea of like mini this, mini that. But of course, just kind of trolling it a little bit too, just because I don't have all the context. Instagram question, but that was a good rant based on that. So if the Brillinger wants to submit something with a little more context, definitely call into the show, askpapaswolio.com. Hashtag no excuses for a chance to win today's Swole card. We'll give that away. Let's take a couple more questions. We'll go deeper on the questions. Keep on dropping them in the chat. Valente Cervantes, Papa Swolio. What is a good meal? What is a good after workout meal? Your mom.
Emotional damage.
Whatever you want. Protein shake, apple, banana, steak, whatever you feel like after a workout. What is a good after workout meal? Something with carbs, protein. I mean, some people want a shake afterwards. Some people like to eat food right after. Really, it doesn't matter. Whatever is ideal for you. Whatever's ideal for you. If you feel like you want to wait half an hour before you eat, I don't feel like having a shake or eating right after a workout, I feel sick, then guess what? Then don't do it. You don't have to force myself. Oh my God, this bodybuilder says while he's still sweating, while he's still on the machine, he has his protein shake. Okay, fine. But if you did that, you throw up, so don't do it. Get it? Got it? Good. It's really what your overall caloric and nutritional intake is and protein and stuff like that. JM Reynolds, Papa Swolio, I can finally do a traditional pull-up. Let's fucking go. Not a question, but thanks for getting me strong, Papa. Well, I'm proud of you. Good for you. Proud of you for putting in the work and getting it done. I didn't do those pull-ups, you did, so good for you. Judge Dad, D-A-D-D, tips for mass, as in number of reps, number of sets, want to build muscle mass. Again, calorie surplus, enough protein, enough recovery, enough intensity. So within 1 or 2 reps of failure, at minimum, generally in a given week, this is general ballpark. Number of sets for a body part in a given like cycle, probably 2 to 6 sets, 2 to 8 sets maybe, depending on your recovery or how frequently you're doing it. Number of reps, you're trying to build mass, I would pick anywhere between like 4 and 8 reps. You can go 4 to 10, but the more reps you do, the more fatigue. So go heavy, go as heavy as you can. Leave maybe. I usually aim for either 0 reps. So a 0 rep RIR, reps in reserve. If I say 0 RIR or 1 RIR, that's reps in reserve. So if I do a 0, so I'll give you an example. If I do a set of 5 and I'm like, I could do one more, but I don't do it, that's 1 RIR. If you have to really know, you have to go to failure to know, you have to learn your body. You have to know what that feels like. If I do my last rep and I'm like struggling and I finish it, and I know if I tried again, I wouldn't get it, but I don't attempt that last rep, that's a 0 RIR. That means I have no additional reps. If I do that last rep and I come back down and I push, and I only get here, boom, that's failure. That's task failure. I couldn't do another repetition. So people say beyond failure. It's like, oh, they do partials and pump and pump. There's no beyond failure. It's like you fail. Failure is failure. So what you're doing is just a lot of times people just cause more damage. There's more fatigue and stuff like that, more spindle stimulus, and they get more sore and stuff like that, but it doesn't necessarily lead to any more hypertrophy unless you're like a newly trained, you're new to the gym. Stretch training has been shown to be a little more effective for people that are new to training. So yeah, it's really hard. Like that's why I usually do 0 RIR, and sometimes I'll do 1. I don't do 2 reps in reserve because I'm going so heavy and I leave 2 in there. I don't really know. It's hard to I have 2 more reps. It's just a harder thing to quantify. Oh, I have 2 left. Maybe you have 4 and you didn't get even close to it. So generally I'll do 0 or 1. Sometimes I'll get the failure, but that's usually good for like maybe the last set, or I don't know. I use the first set. I don't like people, I'm going to go heavier for the second set that I'm doing, for the working set. You're fatigued. Like your first set should be your heaviest all out set. That should be your anchor for the workout. So if I'm doing an upper body workout, that first set of chest, if I'm stuck at like this weight for like 6 reps, I'm going as hard as I can to get that 7th rep on that first set, because that's when I'm the most fresh. That's the first thing that I'm doing in the workout is the most important thing to my programming. The first exercise I'm doing, that's the most important thing. So if your most important thing is your calves, you train them first. Your most important thing is chest. You want to work on upper chest, and you start with an incline movement, whatever that is. If you're doing back and you really want to bring up your lats, then the first exercise should be some sort of like high row or something with your elbows more tucked in, maybe a cable row, whatever it is. That's your first exercise. So last question, unless we have a live one. Anyone, hashtag ask Papa Swolio. Re112, tits or ass Papa Swolio? It's going to be that booty. It's going to be that booty. Booty's American. It's America. All day long. All day long. Oh. Never skip leg day. All right, let's get into some balls deep. Are you ready? Let's go. Hit the like button, subscribe, share the show with your friends, leave us a 5-star review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. If you are catching the stream later, let's get into a video. Pick a number. We have 3, 1, 2, or 3. We do have a throwback. Oh, we got overtime. So maybe we're not doing all 3, but pick a number, 1, 2, or 3, and then we're going to go into OTZ, my kneesies. So make sure you're ready for that. We got a brand new driving while gaining also. Overtime starts right at the end of today's stream in the Daily Swole Telegram chat. For members, you could join over at swolenormousx.com. And like I've been saying, going to keep on reminding you that we do have the app. It's in creation. It's going to be finalized hopefully in the next, by the end of the summer. Looking forward to that. So overtime starts right after today's live stream. Let's go with Nick, number 3. 3, my lord. This one's called Working on Juneteenth. How did everyone celebrate their Juneteenth this past Wednesday? No? No one did? It's America season.
What's in the box?
It's America season, though. July 4th is coming up. Everyone's like, nah, July 4th is the American holiday. Let's see
I just want y'all to know that everybody does not have Juneteenth off. I'm stuck in this office, in the white man's office, working for the white man. Real modern day slavery. Stop inviting me places because I can't go, y'all. I have to.
Holy shit. Yo, racist much? Working for the white man? If I saw this and I was her boss, I'd be like, you're fired. You're fired, you racist twat. What a chode.
Work, and I just want to know, are we getting paid double today? Not everybody, just the black people.
What?
We better be getting paid double today, and I'm not playing.
Oh, you not playing? No one cares that you're playing, girl. All right. I mean, if it's a federal holiday, I don't know. I don't know what the requirements are. I don't care. I don't care. No one cares. No one really cares. America is for, July 4th is for Americans, all Americans. And by the way, these are the same people that vote Democrat. By the way, the Republicans ended slavery. So in case you're like, oh my God, this flag is racist. Is it though? Is it though? Is it though? Is it though? All right. For anyone that was celebrating, cool. No one likes slavery. It's why we don't have it anymore. So it's modern day slavery. You're working to make a living. Yeah, that's not called slavery. It's not called slavery. You're working there by choice. So sounds like a job is opening up. We'll do the last one last because that's too much. We have another one. More Juneteenth because yesterday was. Okay. This is called. This stuff is so retarded. Pay Black People Juneteenth. Why is that titled like that? Pay Black People? I got a question for you, Black people. You're not getting paid? Black people don't get paid?
Be celebrated by Black Americans. When white people ask me what they can do to embrace this holiday, I ask the same question. What about you as a white person? Or what can you embrace about this holiday as a white person? What about this holiday says to you as a white person, I should celebrate this, I should embrace this?
What?
Even as a non-American, it's a good question for a white person to ask themselves. This holiday is also a good reminder. It's a good reminder, especially for white people, that not...
I heard white people like 5 times. I still have no idea what you're talking about. Look, this is like, look, I'm not, what is Juneteenth supposed to symbolize? The last slaves were freed. It's like July 4th. This country has made, like, this is the least racist country in the fucking world. You can see who actually knows about history or like any kind of like social interactions in other countries. So I've heard white people like 6 times. I still have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. And I agree with Elizabeth. Celebrating Juneteenth is like Cinco de Mayo or St. Patrick's Day. Yeah, it's like these little tiny mini holidays. Like, okay, we already have holidays celebrating the amazing aspects of this country. You know, if you're going to play the whole race card, I don't celebrate Black History Month because I think it's just history. I don't think you need a fucking month. It's racism. It's just racism. We don't have a White History Month. Black History Month is literally neo-racism. It's nonsense. It's just sick fucking social pandering to these extreme leftists. So silly, silly nonsense. No one cares. No one cares.
Everything is for you, and that's okay.
Why are you whispering?
If you want to know how to recognize the holiday and acknowledge the holiday,
no, I don't care.
Whether it's a Venmo,
What?
a PayPal.
Hold on a second.
Acknowledge the holiday, pay a Black person. Whether it's a Venmo.
Pay a Black person? It's Juneteenth, so I have to PayPal a Black person? Fuck you. Fuck yourself. Fuck you and your septum piercing. What a twat.
A PayPal, a Cash App, whether you shop from their store, whether you invest in them through way of Patreon or something else, pay Black people. You have to think, we're celebrating our Freedom Day, our emancipation from being enslaved, and we have yet to receive any type of reparations.
You were not enslaved. You were not enslaved. You have nothing to do with any of this. You can leave the country if you don't like it. We don't want you here. If you don't want to be here, you don't have to be here. That's the beautiful thing. No one cares. No one cares. More people have to repost this video and be like, shut up. Like, shut the actual fuck up.
For the many, many, many centuries that we were enslaved and considered property of people and less than human beings.
What about all the white people that have been enslaved throughout the centuries? What about the slaves today? More slaves today than ever in history. What are you talking about? What are you actually talking about? What about all the Black people that sold? You think white people just went into Africa and just took Black people? Nope. Nope. Not how it happened. Black people sold off Black people. Oh, that's right. We don't want to talk about that. We don't want to talk about that. Black people actually own slaves. We don't want to talk about that. We don't want to talk about your own people selling its own people. So yeah. Yeah, not the smartest, but you don't have to be the smartest. You have to be the most pathetic. If you're the most pathetic victim, and of course she's Black, so, oh, she's right. I can't speak because I don't have the same kind of skin tan. It's like, that's ridiculous. I'm a human being with a triple-digit IQ. I can point out stupid shit when I see it, and that's stupid shit. All right, last video, and then we'll go into OT. No throwback today because we're going to OT. This is... This might have to be... All right, we'll do it. We'll do it. We'll do it. We'll do it.
What's in the box?
We'll do it. Last one. What it means to be trans. Oh, tell me.
Hi, friends. Today we're going to talk about something super important. What it means to be transgender. It's a big word, but
Okay, I'm going to play this again. I posted this on my X account. I said, okay, anyone that says they're not coming for the kids, they are coming for the kids. This is not for 30-year-old men. This is not for 40-year-olds. It's not for 20-year-olds. This is for like 5-year-olds. Look at the background. Listen to the music. Transgender. I know it's a big word. You have a mental disorder. You are a creepy pedophile. Why are you making a kids video trying to fuck with their heads about sex, about their penises? Why are you talking about children's body parts? Seriously, why are you talking about little boys' peepees? Why are you talking about little girls' vaginas? Does anyone can you wake the fuck up how insane this is? How mentally deranged this is? No, they're not coming for you. They are. You telling me this is for like a 30-year-old man? It's fucking Blue's Clues for the mentally insane. All right.
Hi, friends. Today we're going to talk about something super important.
Nope.
What it means to be transgender. It's a big word, but I promise that it's easy to understand. Ready to learn? The first thing I want you to do is close your eyes. Now think, do you feel like a boy, a girl, or a little bit of both?
Do you feel me touching you there? Where am I touching you? Close your eyes. Do you feel like a girl or a boy or both? You know, these people are absolutely fucking insane. This is fucking insane. There's no other way to say it. By the way, those of you that watch on YouTube, I'm telling you, follow the podcast on Rumble. This is not going to last. This is not going to last on YouTube. That's why we didn't stream for a long time. This stream's not going to last on YouTube. Probably going to start cutting the stream on YouTube anyway. So this is, it ain't working out. I'm getting flagged too, by the way. So anyway, just follow on Rumble. If you don't see the podcast popping up on YouTube, it's always on Rumble. Let's go.
Your eyes. Now think, do you feel like a boy, a girl, or a little bit of both? Do you have your answer? Great. Now I want you to imagine that everyone keeps telling you that you're something else, even though in your heart, you know who you are.
Your heart isn't, the heart doesn't work like that. It's a muscle that just goes, it's a muscle that pumps oxygenated and deoxygenated blood around. Sends deoxygenated blood to the lungs, back to the heart, pumps out to the body. That's just this ideological concept, like in your heart. Heart doesn't think.
That make you sad inside? People who feel like this are transgender. And if you're not transgender, it's super easy to be friends with someone who is. Let's take our imaginary friend Theo, for example. One day you notice that Theo starts wearing girl clothes instead of boy clothes, and then they tell you that they want to be called Luna instead of Theo. This is so exciting for our friend Luna because they finally get to be their true self. And if you accidentally call Luna by their old name, make sure to say a big sorry and that you'll do better next time. As you can see, transgender people are just like you and me.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
our friends.
They're just like you and me, only they have a mental disorder where they think that they're a girl when they're not. That's kind of a problem. Kind of an issue. Kind of an issue. All right. These are sexual predators and they're coming after your children. If you say, you cannot say that this person is not a groomer, not a pedophile, not a sexual predator. This is a video geared at children. What age group do you think? Listen to the music. Look at the background. What age group do you think this targets? Those of you that have kids. What age group is this with that sound and that music, right? It's not for 10-year-olds. You know, no fifth graders watching shit that sounds like that. What age? 5? What do you think?
Today we're going to talk about something super
3?
important.
4?
What it means to be transgender. It's a
What age do you think that is? 6? Right? It's like 3 through 6. What age group do you think that is? The way this dude's talking.
big word, but I promise that it's easy to understand. Ready to learn?
Jesus Christ. I'm just saying. Certain says 3, sunburn, 4 to 6, 6 to 7. So like 4 to 7, 3 to 7, 5. Yeah, you know, I'm not asking for a like specific answer, but you get the idea. You know, and a 9-year-old's like, I want to play Fortnite. I don't give a shit about this. All right. Super fucking gross. Cool story. All right, let's get into Swole Card, and then we have overtime. So, fam, make sure that you are heading over into OT inside the Daily Swole Telegram chat. Let's give away today's Swole Card. And what's the episode title? What's the episode title today? Who wants to choose the episode title? I'm curious. I'm tired of naming these things. I like it. Drop the title of today's episode in the chat, and maybe we'll raffle off. First one I see that's really juicy. Let's get the Tainty Man. So you guys can start. Oh, look at him. Tainty boy. That's completely. Look at that taint. Let's zoom in. On that dog taint. Yes, there it is. There it is. You look so fancy. Look so fancy. Crossing your legs like a gentleman. Who got paid for Juneteenth? Groomers clues? Ooh, I like that. I like that groomers clues instead of blues clues. Yeah. Working for the white man. Ooh. Working for the white man. Yeah, damn right. I like that one. Working. Groomers clues is good. They're both good. Working for the groomer. Groomers clues. Yeah, groomers clues. Groomers clues indeed. Groomers clues indeed. All right. Grooms clues. Handsy Transy Woke Book. Working for the Barbie man. Juneteenth Unchained. Unchained. I like it. I like it. Dude, where's my reparations? These are great. Groomers clues. All right, Mark. Today's swole card. Going to Mark. Underscores for Papa. Groomers clues is good. You'll take it. You'll take this one. All right, fam. Mark, send us an email to support@swolenormous.com. Swole card 2968 in the subject. Mailing address to the body. The email. Today's episode will be called Groomers Clues. And wasn't that the last one? Was that you last time? Anyway, make sure that you are. We're not gonna do it this way every single time, but I do like the titles. We should have that as like a thing at the end. And maybe give you like a shout out in the description of the episode. Anyway, congratulations, you're winning today's swole card. And now we are going into overtime. So make sure, fam, make sure you are ready for a brand new Driving While Gaining, fam. It is time. Head on over into the Daily Swole Telegram chat. Thanks for being here. Join us, swolenormousx.com. Overtime goes down right now. Starts in about 2 minutes. So head on over to the Daily Swole Telegram chat. Brand new Balls Deep edits. Brand new Driving While Gaining. You don't want to miss this one. It's going to be juicy. And of course, join the fam, swolenormousx.com, and check out the 20% off site-wide. 20% off everything on papaswolio.com. Don't miss out on that. Pick yourself up some merch for yourself or for someone who needs a new nip cover for making those sick fucking gains. Thanks for being here, and we'll see you tomorrow for Swole Slut Saturday, but overtime starts right now. Peace McGee's, Deuce Magoose, your boy, Papa Swolio. Out.
If I see it,